top five, top five, top five.
Yeah, girl, you ready to do this? You ready to count this thing down? We're doing the top five, her. Yeah, let's set it off with 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Ranked Top 5 List of Stuff That Don't Matter. I'm your host Tuong La, and I got some terrible people in the house today. So terrible that they're great. They're a bad influence, but I love it. They're my guilty pleasure, and my first guilty pleasure, well, feels weird saying that. It feels weird saying that, truly. But my friend, you know her from Disney Dummies. You know her from several ranked episodes. You just might know her. Who knows? She's very popular. Samantha Leggatt, everyone.
Hi, Tuong. Thank
Hi,
you.
Sam. You're giving me the face as in, I'm not that popular. Sam, you're a legend in the pod cavern. What are you saying?
Oh, God. I'm hiding behind a bush. I don't know.
Yes, there's
It's been
bushes
so
inside
long
this
since
cavern.
I've been on Ranked that is not
Has it?
like with Leslie and Angus. Yeah.
It's true. You're right.
It's been
You're right.
so long.
You have not got the call because you've been pigeonholed into this
I
one
have.
group thing, and I'm like,
And
let's
it's
get you out.
it's always like food now.
Yeah.
So, which is fine.
No, you're more than food. You're also
Thanks.
bad movies, but we'll talk about that in just a sec.
Sure, I'll take it.
Sam, can you introduce a new guest in the podcast?
I was just
Never
gonna
stepped
say.
foot in here.
First time ranker, not nervous at all, looks super ready to be here. We've got scary Tina Wallace.
Oh dear, I am very afraid and very excited.
Tina Wallace, everyone, you made it.
I made it.
I'm so excited you're here because you're a person that I've wanted in the pod cavern for so long, but I've been intimidated because you're so
God.
scary.
Oh, thank you. I am so scary, but I've made it. Like I'm in the big leagues now. I'm on Pod Cavern. Like, come on. I'm in the Pod Cavern family. I'm on ranked. Like, yo.
Well, we'll see how you do after this episode. Let's just, you're on probation right now, Tina. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, my 3 months.
Yeah. Tina, we can't get started without you introducing the last guest over here.
Oh my God. I realized I was like muffling myself. Oh my God. No, I'm anxious. I'm screwing it up already. Victoria Luloff. Like, and I was like, do I announce it like a wrestler? Oh my God. We haven't rehearsed
You were
this.
doing a great
You know,
job,
it's
and then you
okay.
bailed on
Okay,
it,
I'm
but it's
gonna-
okay.
I love this. Yeah,
Lean
I
into
like
it a lot.
like the hesitancy, the shyness. We're building a whole character for who Tina is in the Pod Cavern family. It's like a nice, like solid blossoming image for our listeners right now.
That's
I love
right.
it. Thank you so much, Tina. Hi guys, happy to be back.
Victoria,
You're happy to be
I
back.
find you always find your way back in the pod cavern.
do.
You're never away for too long. It's,
Sneaky.
didn't we just have you on like 3 episodes ago, and then 3 episodes
I think
before
so.
that?
Yeah. Last time though, I was suffering from extreme seasonal allergies, so I'm glad to be back with full function of my respiratory system. It's I want to thank the listeners for putting up with that last time. Yeah.
And here I am struggling with my respiratory system.
Yeah. I just wanted
Yeah.
you to feel bad in juxtaposition.
Yep, it's all good. Let's feel bad. You know what? Let's feel good about bad movies. How about
Love
that?
it.
Today's
Yes.
episode is top 5 terrible movies that are good. And you know what? There's just movies out there that are like that. I crave them. I want them in my life. I was just thinking, just this last few months, I went to see the Uncharted movie because I really wanted it to be that type of bad. And it wasn't. It was just good enough, which makes it terrible. Like, not in the good way.
Completely
And then I just saw-
understand.
You understand
Is
this?
that the
And then I
one
went
with
to see
Tom?
Tommy
Spider-Man?
Halls? Yeah.
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 I love that kid.
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. He's handsome. I get it. We all love him. Girls want him. Guys want to be him. We get it. But also saw Morbius in theaters like a month or 2 ago. And I'm like, oh yeah, this looks like a piece of shit that I'm going to just enjoy and just nibble. And it was just bad. So I'm happy to talk about today actual good movies that are bad. So let's talk about that a little bit. What are the ground rules for terrible movies that are good?
I'm so worried that I don't understand the assignment and I'm going to make a rule.
I'm so excited for you.
What do you mean? How do you not understand the
Sam.
assignment?
Well, like, it's so like, I don't know. I'm like, is this a bad movie? Because I think it's good. Like, I don't know. Are we going off, like, IMDb popular opinion? I guess. But, like, I know people, like, I like this movie because I watch it with, like, my friends and we like this movie. So is it bad? I don't know.
That's a good point. I think, Victoria, you brought this up earlier, too, in our chat. But I think as long as it's like universally known that it's a quote unquote bad movie, or if you look on it and like some sort of film critic is like, well, it's bad because of these reasons. Not that we should take the opinion of film critics that seriously, but there's some merit to like, oh, I guess I can see your point on why it's a bad movie, but I love it anyway.
Because, like, I have a nom that I'm like, I by no means even want to say that this is a bad movie, but I feel like maybe in some universe it is, and I just don't know.
Go with
We'll
your
see.
heart, Sam.
I
have
guess.
one
I'm so excited.
I have one that's on my honorable mentions that I refuse to say as a nomination because everyone's telling me like, Tuong, that's a movie you like? It's a bad movie. And I'm like, no, it's a great movie. It doesn't even belong in this list today. So
I actually did some homework last night, but we'll get to it later.
okay.
Oh,
Okay.
exciting.
Tina, Victoria, any other things you want to say about this topic?
I'm just like, I work in media and I notoriously, among my peers, have horrific taste in everything. But my litmus test personally is just, did I, Tina, have a good time in that? And that's my ranking system. It's like, well, I had fun, so it's a good movie. But everyone tells me these movies are trash. So, I'm going to stay true, strong, and free.
I love
like that. Tuong, I like that you kind of qualified it also as like, well, it's also kind of like guilty pleasures. And I would love to say that I have no shame and don't feel guilt, except my high functioning anxiety will say different. But that is kind of the angle I went with it, where I'm kind of just like, okay, like, what do I not necessarily want to tell people? Like, oh, I'm hanging out watching this right now, but it makes me happy. And that's kind of what I've gone with.
Right. Like if I were mortal, this would be guilty.
Yeah. Like if people expected better of me, I might be ashamed to admit that.
That's juicy. I like that.
I like that.
I
I like
can't
that.
wait
Yeah.
to get into
Yeah.
this. I think that's good for now for ground rules. Let's do it. Chef's kiss, yes.
Just kidding. No one can see me.
But we can feel the kissies.
Yeah,
All the
horrific
listeners
ASMR.
can feel it. Just like every episode of Ranked, we're going to go around 3 times, nominating 3 nominations each, making a master list of 12, and whittling that down to a top 5 terrible movies that are good list. And how about we start off with an easy one? I think this is the one that we can set the bar with to show like what a bad movie is. I think it's a kind of a slam dunk in terms of terrible movies. Everyone knows it. Everyone loves it. It became more than just a cult classic over the last few years. And I'm almost hesitant on nominating it because it seems too simple and too easy. But I'm doing it anyways because I love it so much. It's The Room. And
That's not where I thought you were going with that.
okay.
I thought I knew so hard what you were gonna say.
No,
too.
it's The Room. We're talking about Tommy Wiseau's The Room. I've seen this movie at the Mayfair in Ottawa a number of times and other local theaters in Kitchener-Waterloo. And it's just an experience of just terrible filming and directing and just a mishmash of just like what is happening on the screen. I can't keep my eyes off of it. And Tina, it looks like you know a lot about this movie.
It's just, I don't know. That's one of the ones where I'm just like, that just sucks. But it's got like a cult following. I'm like, this is so bad. I can't even sit through it. I've tried to watch it like genuinely like 40 times with my friends. I'm like, y'all, can I just like, I don't know, go get a popsicle. I'm so bored.
Well, I was just going to say when I brought up that I was doing this podcast to Brad, and he was like, well, I guess the obvious one's going to be The Room. And I was like, well, no, because that's just bad. It's not good.
Right.
No, you're wrong.
Am I a bad movie snob? I'm like, that one
amazing.
Does that mean, like, am I wrong?
Sam, did you ever get a chance to see it? You haven't seen it yet.
I didn't. But I saw the Disaster Artist. Is like
that doesn't count, but it's okay. Victoria, you have things to say about The Room?
I haven't seen The Room. All of my frame of reference for The Room is going to be based off of memes. So I'm here to just offer the chronically online input for this nomination.
Fantastic. Let me just say, The Room it's a movie that I would never tell someone to just watch on their own. I'm not going to be like, Sam, you're going to watch The Room tonight by yourself in your own room.
Right.
You know?
All my picks I'd watch by myself.
No.
Same.
The Room is a collective group mind meld of like-minded people that you want to get into like a big theater because they're going to shout at the screen as things are happening. They're going to get up, say stuff. They're going to interact with the character on the screen. They throw spoons at the front of the theater, and there's just spoons, like plastic spoons all over the theater by the end of the showing. It's truly a one-of-a-kind experience in terms of going to the movies and seeing a bad movie.
Would we say it's one of a kind when Rocky Horror Picture Show exists and they do very much the same thing?
Excellent point. The Room's better. Ooh. Hot take.
Okay. Yeah. We're gonna get into this.
Yeah. I'm coming out aggro for this episode.
Okay.
Sam, what do you got as your first nomination?
Okay, well, mine I think makes more sense than The Room, but
makes more sense.
So this is like the pick I have that I have the most faith that I'm like correct in the understanding of the assignment, because I love this movie growing up, and it wasn't till like probably 2 years ago where I found out that people thought it was bad. Like, I always just thought everyone loved this movie, and then somebody said something about it, and then I started reading more about it, and I was like, wait, am I to understand that this movie isn't good? And then I made Brad watch it with me, and as I was watching, I was like, oh, I can see it now. Like, I can see why people don't think this is a good movie. So my first nomination is The Grinch, but the live action one with Jim Carrey.
What?
Okay.
I love that movie. And I guess the rest of the world like maybe didn't.
I like that movie too.
Well,
that's a good movie.
And that's why I was like, I guess, like, I'm glad you all like it like I do, but the world does not love The Grinch. And, like,
wow,
it's a bit too long. I guess it goes, like, I don't know. I've read a bunch now. People don't like it. I think it's great.
This is my first time hearing there's Grinch slander. I'm so sorry, Tom. Go ahead.
It has a 49% on Rotten Tomatoes. I've just witnessed this. I actually did know this, but I guess, you know what's interesting about this topic, even though we like this movie, as you nominate it, you're kind of admitting to the world that it is a terrible movie, but you love it anyways.
I hate that. I feel torn about this whole thing because I'm like, no, it's a Christmas classic.
It is.
I think Christmas movies are also like kind of like because I think Christmas movies are also like in their own category of good, bad, like in a bit like of an untouchable way. So I'm with you on this, Sam. I won't hear any Grinch slander until we get into the next part of the cast, and then I will slander.
Yeah, then we have to slander it a little bit.
Then we have to.
It's interesting, Sam, because like I would fight for this movie not to be on the list almost in the second half, because I'm like, fuck that, The Grinch is awesome. So it's an interesting backwards argument that we'll be doing.
Like, we needed a whole second group. We needed Angus to come in and do the second part of this podcast.
Well, if he was here, he'd agree with me on The Room.
Angus coming in. Yeah.
Tina, your first nomination in Pod Cavern history. What is it going to be?
Oh my God, I'm so nervous, but I'm not, because I'm so scary and intimidating. All right, my first pick is a little tiny movie. I don't know if y'all have heard of it. Stars Hayden Christensen. It's not the Star Wars universe. It is called Little Italy.
Oh.
And it is this tiny little delicious indie film. It's like him and Emma Roberts? Yes. And it's like he is in Little Italy, New York, and she's from New York, like the big one. And she like from Manhattan comes to Little Italy. They were like friends, but like their families grew up like as one family. So they're kind of like cousins. And it's just the acting is bad. Like Hayden Christensen's accent goes in and out because he's supposed to be from lethal. I can't do an accent. We have to delete this episode now. I can't have this existing on the internet. And there's like pizza in every shot. So I play a drinking game with my friends where we like take a drink every time you see like a shot of someone eating a piece of pizza. It is so bad, but it's so good. It's like so good because it's just like garish. So I don't know if I should have gone indie for my first pick, but
no,
there it is,
heart.
world.
Love
It's a
rom-com.
2018.
It's so romantic. It's so romantic. And it makes no sense because she was like, I think she accepted a scholarship to Cordon Bleu in like France, but she's like, no, I want to make pizza at home with like my cousin boyfriend. It's so weird.
Wait. He's her cousin?
They're like not cousins, but like their families are best friends and they grew up together since they were like one. And like they babysit. They're like, it's just so weird. It's so weird.
Okay, I thought there was a little bit of incest stuff going on.
That would just make it a classic.
It just
a
make
little
it better.
bit The Godfather 3 just happened
Yeah.
there. The Godfather 3 and like Lauren Conrad choosing not to go to Paris.
Yeah,
and
and, like,
Beach like came together.
Little Alabama is
Yeah.
what it would be.
Okay, Little Italy, Hayden Christensen. Now, he's a bad actor, but I love to watch him. So, there you go.
He steals the camera.
That's right. Victoria, first nomination. What do you got?
Hello. Thank you for your time.
Gorgeous.
Say that first.
It's very good.
Thanks.
47% on Rotten Tomatoes, 63% audience review. 10 years after the events of the first film, Rick and Evelyn O'Connell are settled in 1935 London, where they are raising their son. When a chain of events find the corpse of Imhotep resurrected, the O'Connells go on a desperate race to save the world from unspeakable evil and rescue their son before it's too late. Members of the Pod Cavern ranked top 5. I offer you The Mummy Returns.
Oh my god, yes,
Wow.
thank you. Yes.
The Mummy Returns.
Oh.
I literally
Yeah.
just watched this like in the past 6 months.
Yeah, it is my like go-to feel good. I love this movie. We can talk about the CGI later, but chef's kiss, as Tina would say, to
And
quote
it's, like,
Tina.
Truly.
Clearly not as good as the first one, which is why the first one would
Doesn't
never
need
be
to
on
be.
this list.
Doesn't need to be.
But it doesn't need to be because it's still fun.
I've
Yeah.
never seen The Mummy Returns. There it is.
It is a trip.
I've
You didn't
been-
follow up our Talk and Tongue, the Mummy episode with the Mummy
Vic,
Returns?
ever since we
Wow,
watched
you
The
did
Mummy...
a Talk and Tom Mummy episode without
Yes,
me?
Yeah,
We sure did.
Oh, we did. Victoria
Oh,
made
this
me
is
watch The
awkward.
Mummy, which was great. And-
Victoria offered you the opportunity to
Yeah,
watch the
that's
Mummy.
right.
Had you never seen The Mummy?
At that point, I think I only saw it once, but then afterwards, I saw it like another 4 times out of happenstance. So I've seen The Mummy a lot now,
I
just not The Mummy
accidentally have
Returns.
seen the Mummy
just-
several times.
Tripped over my remote and then like hit the
Like,
Netflix
oh.
button.
Oh my God.
Let's go
do.
into round 2, everyone. This one is near and dear to my heart. It is in a land of when superhero movies were still bad. Like bad superhero movies. They were almost ruined by a single director that just never stopped making bad Batman movies, specifically. I'm talking about Batman and Robin, which is a beautiful mess of a movie. It is so campy. It has just Chris O'Donnell is ridiculous as Robin. We have Clooney. We have Arnold Schwarzenegger, who when you first see him, you're like, oh my God, Mr. Freeze. He's wearing like an 80-pound Freeze suit and he looks so badass. And then he starts talking and then all he does is ice puns. And it's incredible. At one point, they're playing ice hockey to like fight bad guys. Like Batman
So
and Robin
good.
just happen to have skates on them to play hockey against the bad guys. Uma Thurman plays an amazing Poison Ivy character where she starts out where she like reveals herself in like a monkey suit dancing and you're like, what's happening? And then she takes off the monkey suit and then she's just a sexy Poison Ivy that like attracts all the men in the building. We see bat nipples. We see a bat ass in his like outfit. This movie has it all. But it also has a terrible script that is just so attractive. Tina, Victoria, you've seen this movie then?
Absolutely glad, Tongue. I am glad you have nominated it. It was on my my extended list, so I'm really glad. I'm glad you took the time to mention the bat nipples. That is
important,
a key point of this movie. Yes, thank you.
Oh my goodness, I have no words. I just wanted to like Google a little photo for myself to, bring the flashback to the forefront. And this movie, it's so bad. It's just so bad. But I think the only thing that saves it is its campiness. I think you nailed it on the head. And I just had I violently had a flashback to Uma Thurman being potentially my bisexual awakening because I was like,
oh yeah,
she is everything. And I think I just froze in time for 5 seconds. Oh, that movie. Yeah, you're so right. The script is a nightmare on paper.
It is, but
I'm like, does it hold up? So I'm going to trust you that it's good, bad, because I think it's bad. I don't want to start a fight.
Well, 2 years ago, we did a marathon of bad movies to raise money for charity for Cinema Saves the World, and we watched Batman and Robin, and I think it's a good bad movie. The more ice puns that I hear, the more you fall in love with this stupid character. He doesn't have to say it. Yeah.
So good. Nice to see you.
Oh, God. Jesus.
So good.
Jesus.
So good.
So good.
Sam, what do you have as your second nomination?
Okay, so we've touched on whatever the room is, cult classics. We've touched on Christmas movies. We've touched on rom-coms. We've touched on sequels. You just touched on superhero movies. I'm going another genre. I'm going horror-ish, and I feel like this would encompass a lot of good bad movies, but specifically creature feature. Deep Blue Sea.
Oh, no.
Again,
okay.
One of my favorites, and apparently not a good movie, which I always thought it was a great movie. It's only got 59 on Rotten Tomatoes, and the audience score is 39. I mean, LL Cool J's there, Samuel L. Jackson is there, gets eaten in half, which is pretty cool. Spoiler alert, I guess. The sharks in this movie blew me away. It's funny because
all the photo looks very a shark.
There's a lot of sharks, and they're in the middle of nowhere in this compound, and then it's filling up with water, so the sharks are getting in whoa. And it's got a really high death count, and I don't know. I just feel like this category is a lot of movies that I thought were super cool as a kid and then grew up to be oh, those were bad. And this is one of them, because I thought everyone loved this movie, but maybe it's a generational thing. I don't know. Has anyone else here seen Deep Blue Sea?
No. I have seen Deep Blue Sea, and I concur with everything you're saying.
Thank you. Okay, so it's like a shark movie, but like I said, they're in the middle of nowhere in this compound, and shit goes wrong, and all the sharks get in, so they have to basically work their way up and out of this thing that as it's filling up with water, and the sharks are chasing them up. High stakes, man, and they're big bad sharks, and I don't know, it's none of this the Meg shit where it's these super sharks. They're just literal big great white sharks, and they're fucking destroying everyone. But it's also campy. LL Cool J has a bird, and he's a chef.
Okay.
There's a whole kitchen
Samuel
filling
Jackson
up with
has,
water
scene.
Samuel Jackson is just starting, I feel to become a superstar at this point. So he was still not big enough that he could be in this kind of. I mean, it's before Snakes on a Plane, I guess. Anyways.
Wow.
Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue Sea.
Amazing.
Okay. Tina, what do you have?
You should all watch it.
I will. I'm going to watch all of these movies.
we're going to watch all of these movies.
Yeah, I feel we have to.
Yeah.
We have to, right? Whatever the top 5 is, we have to watch that.
Yeah.
Tina, second nomination.
Oh, I have so many I'm looking at on my personal list, and I'm where do I go from here? Okay, I think I'm going to go mega franchise as well. And this is so controversial because you're so right that if I bring it up, I'm acknowledging a deep truth within this film that it's not great. But I'm just going to do it. I'm going to pull the trigger. And I think Twilight is a phenomenal.
Wow.
Which one? Are we allowed to say which one?
We can get into it because I was just thinking of the OG, but within the Twilight system, there are gold stars and there are flops. I don't know, but the OG Twilight, so memeable. Like I'm also chronically online, and man, like the memality of it all, the acting, the chemistry between the characters, not there.
I was gonna say
Missing. Where is she? Like that, and I'm sure we've all seen it or have been forced to watch it at one point. I am a diehard for the Twilight series.
I've seen
and
it.
It's making a comeback. It's like it's not gauche anymore to like talk about.
It's in a renaissance, absolutely.
Yeah.
Is it really? Okay.
Oh yeah. My friend just snapped me like all the movies. She did a whole marathon and she'd never seen them. And this was like a few weekends ago. And she was snapping me along with her journey. And I was like, yes, thank you.
God. And she was like, your skin is ice pale, or whatever she says. Good
I mean,
Lord.
I feel like the fourth one is the most unhinged, but I don't know. With the baby. But
the OG baby, when it was not CGI and it was an actual puppet, like on the original DVD.
Puppet was terrifying.
I need to rewatch this apparently. I remember watching this movie, God, so long ago. And there was this scene where Robert Pattinson is stopping like a bus or a car with his hand. And it looks so fake. But it was like their biggest budget scene ever for the movie. And I was like, this looks terrible. But it made me laugh. So
I was so scared.
Robert Pattinson has said recently that it's not even cool to hate on Twilight anymore. So
oh my God.
It's not.
All right.
No.
Okay. Has anyone checked on Taylor Lautner? Is he okay?
Is he still with us?
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Did he just cash in? He's just like, I'm good. Everyone's Team Jacob, I guess.
Oh, that's the dream though, to do like that and then just fall off the face of the earth and be like, yeah, what of it? Like I was famous once.
Yeah.
Excellent nom, Tina.
I love it too. And I always think about like Robert Pattinson. He just did that movie. And then after that movie, he got to do whatever he wanted for years. And it was amazing because he's like, I got Twilight money. I can do whatever.
Right.
And now
I feel
he's
like that's
Batman.
a similar like to Daniel Radcliffe too, right? He made that Harry Potter movie and then he was like, I'm gonna go do all the weird shit I've always wanted to do now.
That's true.
That's
he was
the
like,
way
I'm
to
gonna
do
go
it.
be naked in a play and touch a horse, not sexually, and make like $4,000 a year on that. Like
Freaking
I don't know. I assume.
He was
Victoria.
on Broadway. We make more than that.
Right. I'm like, clearly I've never been to a play.
But not
Like,
too much more. Okay, I'm going to take you back to 1992. 15% Rotten Tomatoes, 56% audience review. California teen Dave Morgan, played by Sean Astin, is digging a pit for a pool in his backyard when he happens upon a caveman frozen in a block of ice. Aided by his goofy friend Stoney, played by Pauly Shore, Dave transports their discovery to his garage where the Neanderthal thaws and is revived. When Dave and Stoney find the living and thoroughly bewildered caveman, they attempt to pass him off as an exchange student named Link, played by Brendan Fraser, resulting in many misadventures. Friends ranked, I offer you Encino Man.
Encino Man. Oh my God. I'm so happy. I forgot that movie existed. And I love the Brendan Fraser theme.
I did not.
Yeah,
I
is
was
it all
gonna say,
Brendan
I
Fraser?
hope all your movies are Brendan Fraser.
Just like
I'm
chirps
not
to Brendan.
saying anything.
Is that your mug? Is your mug Brendan Fraser?
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Oh, that's
I
incredible.
wait for it.
I'm
The king. Cheers to the
But
king.
yes, for the audience who can't see, I have a mug that is just a collage of Brendan Fraser.
I love it
She's not
A
lying.
little tease.
much.
A little
That's
tease.
incredible.
So much.
Yeah.
The foreshadowing.
I love this movie. I love Pauly Shore in the way that I love to hate things, where I find him both irritating and I'm attracted to him in a way that is not my choosing. So take from that what you will.
Wow.
I love it. I respect that.
I have taken what I
Thank
will
you.
from it, and I love it.
Yeah.
Sam, Encino Man, have you seen it?
It's like one of the ones I haven't. You'll appreciate this. My friend hosted a big Brendan Fraser marathon a few years ago.
I love it.
And we watched a bunch. That was not one of them. But I feel like he's in a lot of movies that could be on this cast, and maybe we'll shout out more later. But we did like a trivia between movies as like a game, and she made a Brendan Fraser crown out of pictures and stuff, and it was just like this whole thing. So yeah, and I honestly, we used to have this like free pile at work where it was just like people would bring shit and leave it and you could grab it, and it was just kind of like a take and leave thing. And I took the DVD of Encino Man because I was like, I should watch this movie, and I haven't gotten around to it yet, but I have.
It's so good.
Yeah.
You gotta.
I also have never seen this, so I guess we'll do this together, Sam.
Yeah.
Well, we can go into it again.
I feel like I want to see like all the ones I haven't seen on this list.
Well, they're terrible movies that are good. Of course you do. Let's go into the last round of nominations here, which is very tough because I have a few that I'm like, I gotta say this one. I gotta say this one. But I don't know. Think I'm going to go with this one because we don't have yet a video game movie on this list here. And there is, do you know, Vic? Are you sure you know?
I know what's gonna happen.
Are you sure? Okay, because there's a lot. Video game movies are notoriously bad. Like a lot of
one
them.
in particular that I feel takes the cake.
Yes, there is one movie. If I'm hoping it's the same one here, I'm talking about probably the most popular video game of all time turned into a movie. We're talking about the Super Mario Brothers movie from 1993.
Oh, yes.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about it. It is
Good,
John
good, bad.
Leguizamo.
It is good.
That's all you gotta say.
Yeah.
That's
John
right.
Leguizamo.
Bob Hoskins, Dennis Hopper as Bowser. This movie is the script is so all over the place. It doesn't know what it really wants to be. It takes such creative liberties on what Mario is. Like the Goombas are just giant. They have like giant bodies and little dinosaur heads, which is not what Goombas are to begin with. Bowser is a human for most of the movie, which doesn't make any sense. They like time travel into a dystopian world where like the dinosaurs rule the earth, but it's also futuristic. So everyone's riding electric cars as well. The Mario Brothers movie is an incredible, weird achievement. Toad is a punk rocker in the movie. Like, I think Yoshi is a yellow raptor. It's just like, it's all over the place in terms of like, yeah, it's Mario. Sure, it's Mario. But it is, it's hard not to watch. So have you all seen this movie?
Yes. I tried to watch it again recently, and I remember as a kid liking it. So, like, this is again like 2 years. I'm admitting to watching a lot of weird stuff. It's like
No judgment.
Yeah. So, like 2 years ago, this was like a night in by myself. I dressed up as Mario and bought a bottle of red wine. I got my cat. And I sat on the couch and I was like, I'm going to watch the Super Mario DVD, which I again stole from that pile at work. And I got like 20 minutes into it, I think, and I had to stop and I was like, I can't do this alone, man. Like,
Yeah, you can't watch that
watch
alone.
this with someone. Like, it was so, I was like, this is so fucked up. But yeah, I
Doesn't
do it
make any
again.
sense.
Maybe not alone. Yeah. But you know what? I bet it's better than the new one we get soon. I'm like totally hypothetical. Like that's hypothetical, but
Yep.
Isn't Chris Pratt Mario? Like
Chris Pratt's
already,
Mario.
Not that's not even in a good bad way. That's just bad.
No, I have like a fever dream memory of this movie because I saw it when it came out. So what year did you say, Tom?
1993.
Okay, amazing. So I was 7 years old. My parents were probably freshly divorced. And like, you know, those movies that you only saw as a kid? And you're just like, you have like these snapshot memories of. So good. So good.
Tina, you've seen this movie?
I have not seen this movie, and I am waiting to hear like what really makes it good. It just sounds awful. It sounds terrible.
It is.
Some awful things we're meant to experience, though. You know, like it's part of what makes us human.
Oh, like the pathos of Mario Brothers.
It's hard to like describe it because when I describe it, you're like, that's gonna sound bad. It is, but when you put it all together, it's like a beautiful mess that you're like, how did this come to be?
Yeah, I remember feeling like it was akin to that like uncanny valley feeling where like you see something that's just not quite right. And it makes you feel weird in the pit of your stomach. That's what I remember feeling.
It makes you like
But I
question
liked
reality. It's kind of
Yeah,
meta. It asks a lot of
like,
questions.
who
I
am
like
I?
that. Very
Yeah.
sophisticated.
And Bob Hoskins
you.
kills it as Mario. I gotta say, he just kills it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, John Leguizamo, like he also, those two were drunk for most of the filming of this movie, apparently.
No.
Yeah, because they also knew it was bad, so they're like, let's just have fun with it, and they admit that it's a bad movie. Anyways, Sam, what do you have?
I'm always so torn on the last nom because there's like a few here that I'm like, what do I do? There's one that I like really don't want to admit at all that is bad, and I firmly don't believe that it is. All right, I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna bank on you all being like, that's a great movie. That's not a bad movie. But it's Josie and the Pussycats.
Yes.
It's like the best. It's not bad. I don't know who, but it's got a bad score online. So I guess, I don't know if that's the definition, but I love it. I love the soundtrack. I bought it on vinyl. Rachel Lee Cook. I put it on like free. It's like such a good, like upbeat soundtrack. And the girls are awesome. And everyone's awesome in that. It even came with like a little bonus small disc of Du Jour, which is like the boy band in it. And
oh Backdoor Lover. Coming in from behind with the back.
I am gonna watch
Song
this
about
literally
anal
tonight.
sex in a kid's movie.
Right?
For it.
Yes, it's so good. It's so campy as fuck. It's so good.
Is Rosario Dawson in that movie?
Yep.
She sure
Stop. Is she really?
Tara Reid?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my god. Genuine throwback. Snub for Best Picture.
so
That
good.
movie is good. I'm gonna rewatch it tonight. I
That
will die on the
movie's
hill. It's a
good.
good movie.
Yeah, can't
I
believe
just
it's
need to, like,
nominated for the
talk
bad
about it.
movie list.
Yeah.
It's a good
I
movie.
know. I was like, this movie isn't bad, but I just want to gush about it, so I'm gonna say it.
You're gonna say it anyway.
And in the movie, it's like, and I haven't seen that movie honestly since the 3rd grade. And I feel like, because the whole,
You'll
you know,
love
they
it
have the
now.
premise, it's about like overconsumption and like getting too techie and like not living in the moment and just being like a zombie with technology.
Listen to your friends.
Ahead
and,
of
like,
its time.
Yes,
Yes.
truly. I feel like, Tongue, in your video right now, you've got like 2 pokey things on your pillow, and it looks like you're wearing like cat ears, and it's like the
Oh, I
Josie
am.
and the Pussycat
Little
headphones.
I love.
I
Actually, you know,
am.
I used to read a lot of Archie comics, and Josie and the Pussycats were always in Archie comics, like popped up every now and then. So I know a thing or two about that band.
So you've seen the movie.
One time. Tina, what do you have as your final nomination?
There are so many to pick, but I'm going to throw it local. Got to represent our local girlies. And I know that Zoe Town has been. And, you know, I don't know if she's been on this pod, but she's been on the pod. She's been in the Pod Cavern family. And like, I got to say, Ouija Shark, I know we could say it's just bad, but it is good. I have it here on Rotten Tomatoes. It's got a 43%, which it has a picture of a dumpster. So I don't really know like how they vote, if it's like 43 dumpsters out of 100, but I'll just read you guys the blurb if you have not read it, if you've not seen it. A group of teen girls summon an ancient man-eating shark after messing with a Ouija board that washes up on the beach. It's just so fun.
Great premise.
It just
Sounds amazing.
And it's on Amazon Prime. And I was like, hey, it's like, I don't know how NSFW I can get on this pod, but I feel like
Very.
a lot.
Very.
I'm going to articulate myself carefully on the internet because my following is very PG. But like, you know, in like the porn world, you've got the Hollywood blockbusters. And then you've got the amateur stuff. And I feel like all of the content we consume on a daily basis, like long form content just is more Hollywood. It's high budget. And I'm like, this movie, if you just like take away the fact that it's like a smaller budget, it's like hilarious and so fun. And I know it's branded as a horror, but it's like, it's very aware. It's sophisticated as well, perhaps. Highbrow, funny, scary, fun. Yes. Thank you. And that's
enough.
my dissertation on Ouija
I'm
shark.
googling this and I'm like,
Yeah.
what is this?
I love that premise.
No,
so
so
That's great.
Tina's actually, this is a very clever nom because Brett is a local filmmaker and like this is his vibe is he makes movies like this. I actually backed out of being in Ouija Shark because of the circumstances. They were doing like reshoots for something, or there was like an extra scene he wanted to add in. And he was like, yeah, we're going to have you like running in a swimsuit. And I was like, I don't think so. And he was like, you can wear shorts. It's just got to be summer clothes. But it was like November. And then like a week later, there was like a blizzard. And he was like, are you still down? And I was like, no, absolutely not. But what's so fun about that is basically like how these movies happen, right? It's just like somebody who is a little more willing than me working for like a local producer wherever they are, and like for real magic happens. Some of these local films are so good, and Brett is kind of like infamous in Ottawa. So this is very neat.
Like we should
Very
like I want to interpret more like local feature film into my like diet.
I've got
so
some
to speak.
DVDs. I can hand you some fun DVDs. I'll drop them off at live. Yeah,
it's so fun. And like Leslie Cherapy is like the hot guy in like full sweats and like
he's
a
in
long
this movie.
and he's like got a long,
Cherapy.
he's the quintessential like hot guy cleaning a car, but he's got no skin showing whatsoever, and he looks so uncomfortable the whole time, and it makes me so happy because he's just like, hey lady, I'm gonna clean your car.
I vaguely remember Leslie telling us this, Sam. I vaguely remember this.
That's right, Pod Cavern listeners. We are referencing our own Leslie Cherokee.
That's right. Yes, everyone
of
knows
whom you
and
are
loves
quite
him.
familiar.
The mayor of the Pod Cavern is the hot guy in the movie.
Can I tell you guys a secret? For real?
Yes, please. No one else is listening. This is a good time.
Literally have always had the biggest crush on him. And the first time I ever met him, I was working at Live on Elgin bartending, and he was like on stage, and I only heard his voice, and I was like, that man has the coolest voice ever. And then I think I've told him this like drunk all the time. I'm just like, Leslie Cherapy, I'm in love with you. So it's fine.
It's fine. Tina, he listens to the show all the time, so he's going to hear it
I
again.
back you up, Tina. Leslie is very crushable, and I have also told him as
He
much.
is
I'm just
so
like,
crushable.
Yeah.
I feel like he's surrounded by
crushable.
women who are like not available, who are like, I love you. And he's like, great. What do I do with this information?
He's gonna
Thank you, weirdo.
blush so hard listening to this.
I
We
know.
all
Let's
love you,
avoid
Leslie.
him.
I hope you got a
Good.
boner.
And Tung has a crush on you too, obviously.
Let's go into Victoria's final nomination. I'm sure it's Brendan Fraser. We'll see.
Why would you just kick me in the dick like that, Tung? Anyway,
Because you had two Brendan Fraser nominations.
55% on Rotten Tomatoes, 41% audience. George has raised himself since he was a baby.
I
and a
freaking
plane
knew
crashed,
it. I freaking knew
Tung,
it.
Shush, crashed, stranded him in an African jungle. Now an adult, George has his first human contact in years when he saves explorer Ursula Stanhope, played by Leslie Mann, from a lion. George and Ursula connect, and she leaves her fiance Lyle, Thomas Hayden Church, Ursula, I found your scrunchie, and takes George back to San Francisco. But when George learns his gorilla buddy has been captured, he and Ursula return on a rescue mission. Friends of the Pod Cavern and Ranked, I offer you George of the Jungle.
George of the Jungle.
George of the Jungle. Now, I will say, I have seen this movie a number of times as an adult, and it both does and does not hold up, depending on how drunk you are.
This was part of our marathon, and it did hold up.
Good. Yeah. If you're just a little stoned, it makes the Tookie bird a little cooler.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Tookie.
He's beautiful. It's so good.
Yeah, he's a babe in that movie. I haven't seen that movie
so
in
bad.
ages.
I haven't seen it in
That's
ages
what I
either.
mean. I was like, this is bad. What?
I'm sure it has
leans
aged
really hard.
terribly.
It leans really hard on like goofy humor that like is a little like, as the kids would say, cringe now. But I find it comforting. And also I just love when that man smiles. So, and also Leslie Mann. Speaking of like Poison Ivy level bi awakenings, Leslie Mann in George of the Jungle
agree.
or anything, I'm just like, you are the
Babe.
prettiest lady
Wow.
in the whole wide
completely
world.
agree.
Leslie
Two
Mann,
different
mother
Leslie
of Maud
compliments
Apatow.
on the show today.
Oh yeah. the theme.
Is your name Leslie? Then you are gorgeous. That's what we have learned today. Completely
Your name
agree,
is
though.
Leslie.
She is a
you
babe.
can get it from one of us.
You can get it.
So beautiful.
Vic and Tina at the bar somewhere.
Okay, all right. Well, let's cool off a little bit as we go message a couple Leslies on our break. And when we're back...
No one tell him.
Yeah,
Oh my God, let's keep it a secret.
Oh, I'm not editing this, so when we're back, we're going to rank some top 5 terrible movies that are good. We'll be back. Mr. Leslie Cherokee, can you come to the booth, please? Mr. Leslie Cherokee, to the booth, please.
Oh, hello. I'm Leslie Cherokee.
Oh, you look a little different from the pictures. Your name was called to accept the award for hottest guy?
Wow, I'm so excited. I thought my raps would win something first, if anything, but I'm just excited to be here.
Well, are you gonna go on stage looking like that? And did you have to bring your groupies with you too? I mean...
Scabba-da-doo, scabba-da-dee, I'm here to see Leslie.
My scat and honeys come everywhere with me. They bring the jazz.
Abba-da-doo, dabba-da-dee, he's so
Okay.
hot and he
Lay
likes
down,
me.
Scat and Sam.
Wow, okay. Well, this is neither here or there. You cannot go dressed as you are in a paper bag to accept the award for hottest guy. So if you can get a change of clothes, that would be great.
Oh gosh, okay. Well, I was just trying to be environmentally friendly. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It's sexy. And I'm Leslie. Where on earth am I gonna find some clothes? Tina, do you know?
Oh, that Leslie, always trying to reduce and reuse. But if one of your shirts breaks because your muscles is too dang big, go on down to podcavern.com and get yourself...
Podcavern.com. I know that website. Podcavern.com.
Oh wow, I can get myself some Pod Cavern merch. As the mayor, it only makes sense. I'm Leslie.
Tina, are you about to say go to podcavern.com, click on the merch store link, and if Leslie buys anything from the merch store, a little bit of a kickback goes to the Pod Cavern? Is that what you're trying to say?
That's all I was going to say. You go there, you go to the designs. There's a Pod Cavern logo design, and there's a save it for the cast design. I'm not saying, Leslie, you got to save it for marriage. I'm just saying you got to save it for the cast, baby. So go on down and get yourself a new shirt, because dang, you ripped that one right off of your body.
Thanks, Tina. You really do treat me right. Pod Cavern. Yay! I'm Leslie.
Podcavern.com.
Top five.
Hey everyone, we are back. We are here to rank some terrible movies that are actually really good. And I'm excited for this because this list, it's confusing because some of these nominations very much toe the line of like, well, this doesn't belong on the list. It's just a good movie. And other movies I can be like, you know what, it is pretty bad, but I love it so much. Put it all over my body. So what we have as our nominations is The Room, The Grinch, Little Italy, Mummy Returns, Batman and Robin, Deep Blue Sea, Twilight, we're gonna go with the first one here, Encino Man, Super Mario Brothers, Josie and the Pussycats, Ouija Shark, and George of the Jungle, watch out for that tree. Okay. Thank you for that, Victoria. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to star nominations for further consideration. I'm going to go around the horn. I'm going to get everyone to just star a nomination that isn't one of your own so we can talk further about it. And we're going to start with Sam.
Okay, I would like to star first and foremost Batman and Robin.
Tina, do you want to star one that isn't one of your own?
I just have so many feelings, but I think I'm going to star George of the Jungle.
That was mine.
Yeah.
Okay, Victoria, star one that isn't one of your own.
We would be remiss to leave the first Twilight off of this list. I am starring Twilight.
Too
Okay,
kind.
it is starred. Oh boy. I guess out of the other movies here that isn't one of my own, I'm going to just star The Grinch, I guess, because I haven't seen a lot of these other ones. So we have Batman and Robin, The Grinch, or How the Grinch Stole Christmas, I think is the full title of that one.
Yeah.
Twilight and George of the Jungle. Now I'm going to open up the floor for anyone to start any other movies that they want to fight for. It can now include one of your own. I can go here. Like, I think we at least need to have the conversation of The Room. I need to have that conversation. It's an interesting thing because I think this is like, I'll save it. But I'm starring it.
What are you going to save? I feel like it's just bad, though.
It's not.
Oh, hi.
Right.
But it's not. How about is there anything else that you guys want to fight for?
Yes. Thank you for asking, Tuong. I would also like to star Josie and the Pussycats.
Okay.
Thank you. I basically would fight for any Brendan Fraser movie that was listed. I feel like we can't have like 3 out of the 5 of them be Brendan Fraser movies. So I'm like leaning towards George of the Jungle. And I'm also leaning towards, without even having seen it, in Cheeto Man, just because I know that it has like that kind of like following. So like I've obviously heard of it and I've heard people who love it. So I'm inclined to like kind of lean into that one as well.
The power of the Renaissance, you know?
Yeah, totally.
It's delightfully nostalgic. Yeah. It's got so many like sweet nostalgic bits in it. Pre-smartphone. So fun. So charming.
Okay.
I always get it confused with Blast from the Past because I really liked that as well.
Oh my God. Yes, fresh
Name it.
Victoria's doing
All right,
eyebrow
sorry.
Here are the nominations that aren't starred, and we can see if we want them on the list or not, just to gauge the room here. We have Encino Man. So is that going? Are we going to star that?
I'd like to like kind of quasi-star that. Just
okay,
for,
I'll
like,
just star it.
Quasi-star.
Mommy Returns, star, no star. What are we thinking here?
In the list, not memorable to me.
Oh,
we gotta make the hard cuts now.
Tina, you say that to Rick O'Connell's face.
I'm literally looking him in the face right now, like staring into his like deep bluish, brownish, greenish eyes and being like,
you call yourself a bisexual.
It was the first,
and you don't want to nominate a mummy movie.
It was the first movie I watched in this new house because we had no internet and I had the DVD.
Okay, well, we can't start all 3 Brendan Fraser movies.
But I would agree. I would cut the that one cast only because of the others.
And remember, there have to be bad movies that are good. It sounds like okay, so Mommy Returns.
There are bad parts.
Ooh, good point, Tuong. Because like I will argue, like cut and dry, the Mummy franchise, pretty good. Like
it's true.
Very
there are
crushable.
Worse movies that are
crushable.
Good. Yeah.
Except, then there's the Mummy spin-off movies, right? Like
those we don't even talk about those.
Okay, all right.
If Brendan's not in them, then
it doesn't count. Ouija Shark, are we okay with letting that go?
I like that it's on this list.
Yeah, honorable mention to the Ouija Shark.
Yeah, for top 5, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't fight for it. It sounds amazing.
I really want to watch it
really
now. I do.
Yeah.
You have like sold me on watching it, but not putting it in the top 5.
Yeah,
that's a tough one. That's fair. I think that's fair.
How about Little Italy, Tina?
Oh, guys.
She's also sold me on watching that. I like 100%.
No,
I'm going to watch it.
We have to see it. That's the only
thing. I need to see this. I do.
Under the full moon 1 year from today, having witnessed this film, because it is a precious train wreck. And if you haven't seen it, like you just need to see it. So until you do,
list now.
let's can it.
We'll can it for now.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that one was intriguing. It just has a lot of like, this looks terrible. I kind of want to see it.
So like my college friend group, we like over COVID have had like movie nights together, and usually our theme is to like watch bad movies. We watched like Cats, and we watch just like
I can't believe we didn't talk about Cats.
I know.
I was going to.
I know. Ani Mensch, I'm sorry, but close. I just wanted to say they were like the first group I went to when I was like, I'm doing this cast. Oh my god, like you guys must have like
like give me the dirt.
Yeah.
We also, my college friends have a bad movie.
Yeah,
that's
it's
so funny.
Just like we don't give a fuck, right? So I feel like I'm gonna bring that Italy one to them and be like, We have to watch this.
You have to.
Oh, and
I'm
another
getting
one we were
t-shirts made.
supposed to watch is another Brendan Fraser movie, and it's Inkheart, which I haven't seen, so I don't actually know.
Oh, it's pretty good. You also
haven't
get some
seen
Paul
that.
Bettany.
Yeah, which we also love in that group. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Love Paul Bettany.
yeah.
But it sounds like Little Italy is not going to make the cut for now.
Not today, not today.
Deep Blue Sea, Sam, are you okay with letting
You
that
can
go?
cut it, but everybody should watch it because it's a very entertaining romp.
Fair enough.
Romp. Yeah.
If you like shark movies,
A little
it's
shark
fun.
romp.
It's like a fun summer spooky.
Okay. I like the idea of a shark romp.
Yeah.
Shark chomp.
Wait,
And
so
then
did we cut Mummy Returns? Then?
we did.
Because it's too good.
It's just too good.
I
It's
will
too
accept that
good.
justification of
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
It's too good. It's too
Like,
Who knows?
if you were to take this entire series of films that we took onto like a desert island, that one would win Best Picture, in my opinion, if this was like the entirety of the Oscars. So you just
It's true.
can't.
It's true.
Okay, I agree with you entirely.
I love that justification.
I was just waiting for it. I could see Victoria just holding a can, waiting for the
Hold it.
moment to
Hold it.
open. Yeah. And the
it's
Super
like a nice
Mario
fresh
Brothers
snack.
movie, are we okay with leaving that one? I feel like I'm on the fence with it because I do think it's a bad movie, but I do love it. But
tongue speak your truth.
there's all I like The Room more for this list. I like Batman and Robin more for this list, you know? So it's I don't want, I'm not greedy. I don't want all of mine on this list. I want a nice representation of this group here today. So out of the three that I have, the other two I feel more strongly about, I guess. Yeah.
What other?
That's
Oh, you're
legit.
Batman. Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
I agree, especially because like I really couldn't get through Mario.
Yeah. I think there's a thing about bad movies in my mind is that you need to sometimes watch it with the right people and that they're not always supposed to be consumed by yourself. And I specifically
fair.
find that with The Room. Like I said before, I would never just watch it by myself. Like, I'm not going to have a good time. But the power of the community behind The Room and the story behind The Room is just, it's just too good. It's just, I'll talk about it in a little bit. But let me just talk about the movies that are starred. The Room, Batman and Robin, The Grinch, Josie and the Pussycats, Twilight, Encino Man, and George of the Jungle. We have to cut two of them. Yeah.
Can I ask a serious question?
Yes.
Yes, please
Is
do.
it Encino Man or Encino Man?
Encino.
think
It's a
Encino?
soft C.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I wasn't butchering it later.
I
I
think
might
you know
have
what
already.
it could be a regional thing, Sam. You
Yeah.
could just be representing.
Okay,
You know.
I won't feel too bad then.
It also
Another
it could
time
be
zone.
Encino Man with a
Mm.
SH, you know?
Spicy.
And Chino Mon.
Yeah.
Like a long A.
Mahan.
Okay, Mahan.
Mahan? Okay, I'm going to read the list one more time,
okay.
and I'm going to go with locks. So how locks works is that when I read the nominations, you're going to say if it's a lock or not. If we all agree and it's unanimous, then it's likely going to make our top 5 list. If someone's like, oh, I don't know, then we just move on and we'll talk a little bit more about it. Sound good?
I like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Agreed.
The Room, lock or no lock. That is for me, but I can sense The Room and we'll move on.
Read the room.
That's it. That's the saying, not sense the room. What am I saying?
It's all delicious.
Yeah.
That was so fun.
Batman and Robin, lock or no lock?
Lock.
That's it.
Lock.
Lock.
Like,
Lock.
lock. Absolutely.
Okay. The Grinch, lock or no lock?
Like I want to lock it for conversation though, because I do want to talk about that version of the Grinch.
We will talk about it, but it doesn't sound like it's a lock for the list, top 5. Josie and the Pussycats, lock or no lock?
Lock. Absolutely.
How about the rest of you two here?
I could definitely have more talk about Josie and the Pussycats.
I want
Okay.
to talk about it more for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Twilight, lock or no lock?
Lock.
I think that's a lock.
Are we locking that bad boy?
I'd lock that.
We're locking that in.
I'm locking it, but
Yeah, I'll lock that.
Okay, a hesitant
We're
lock
locking it
from
down like
Sam.
Bella locked down.
It's a hesitant lock because it's like when you're like talking about the like Oscars on our island of these movies.
right.
it is
The Pod Cavern.
I feel like
ranked
it does.
Oscars.
You know what though? It encompasses this category so well because I feel like it is pretty bad, but it is good, and I cannot explain in any like good words.
That's it though. That's the feeling.
Yeah.
Giving what Tuong wanted the room to give.
Wow.
Twilight is giving what Tuong wants.
Twilight gives that. Yeah.
It's so bizarre. We'll talk about it.
Complete struggle for us to develop like a language for our like categorization of what is good and bad. Like it's just like the vibe.
It's a feeling.
It's a vibe. And
It's
it tried to
vibes,
do
bro.
something though.
Yeah,
that
the cat
movie
like
tried.
Yeah.
It
What
tried
is it
to
Like,
give
giving?
bad good.
Encino
It's
Man, lock or no lock?
I'm gonna say no lock for me. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
enough,
No
fair
apologies needed. This is the segment where we hurt feelings. George of the Jungle.
It's
Yeah,
so
lock
weird because
that.
I'd rather lock Encino Man, and I've never seen it.
Oh my
But I just
Wow.
feel like that is the like obvious lock here versus George of the Jungle.
Wow.
Which I do like. I just haven't
Split.
seen it, so I can't like contribute to the conversation. But I'm like, I feel like it should be here.
You feel like the zeitgeist around it is
Yeah,
more
I'm like, I
justifiably
believe-
lockable.
I believe you, Brendan Fraser fans out there, like when you tell me it's good.
Mm.
But
Mhm,
do you
mhm.
believe them that it's also bad?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, wholeheartedly. I believe that it's maybe the reason I haven't watched it yet. And I've seen like the other ones, maybe because I was like, and Shino Man, isn't that just like a bad movie? But like, I
So-
also feel like it's a good movie. So I don't know.
But-
I'm just torn.
Take it from me, watchability, George of the Jungle is more watchable as a bad movie than Encino Man.
Okay.
It goes down smoother. Just think about the
Okay.
scene where he's running with the horses.
Oh my God. That's the only scene I've been thinking.
Okay, all right. I would lock George of the Jungle personally.
Yeah.
I would
I
lock
mean,
it.
I'm down with locking it.
Tina?
I lock it, man. It's great. It's terrible, but it's great.
Yeah, all right. That's the feeling. That's the vibe. Okay.
Amazing.
We accomplished quite a bit. We got Batman and Robin, Twilight, and George of the Jungle. We need to keep 2 more. The competition is between The Room, The Grinch, Encino Man, and Josie and the Pussycats.
I would like to fight for Josie and the Pussycats. to be
I
on
would
this
join you
list.
in that fight.
I would,
Absolutely.
yeah. I'd be
Okay.
down.
I'm curious because I haven't seen this movie in forever. Is it, by saying this, you're agreeing that it's a bad movie, right? Like,
Yes.
Yes.
okay,
It's
okay.
bad in the sense it's like very 90s tropes and
Okay.
like the acting and the writing is probably not that good. Maybe the shots aren't exciting, but it's like fun characters.
It makes our little like teenage, so I was like 14 or 15 when it came out. So like for me, like I listened to that soundtrack and I felt it. So
Me
yeah.
too.
I still
Oh my
have it.
God.
I have it in my iTunes.
I had it
have
on CD. I have it on
Yeah.
vinyl. I still put it on
Yeah.
like all the time. And
Parker
It's just-
Posey,
Yeah.
Alan Cummings. Yes.
Alan Cummings. Oh, yeah, everyone. It's just like this weird cliche. I don't
The
even know
ending is
how to say
ridiculous.
it's bad, but like it apparently it's bad.
Tina, Josie and the Pussycats, your
I'm
feelings?
trying to save all my thoughts, but yeah, excellent. I want to like lock I know we're like done locking ish, but
No.
are we
you-
done locking? Are we not?
We're
No,
done locking.
we're never
No,
done
we're just
Come out the
locking.
gate.
No, we're just
Okay.
done
Give us
locking.
something.
Oh, okay. Now we're just like vibing our
To see
choices
what's the
like
last 2 that are going to make the list. Yeah, that's what we're
because
trying to
Josie and the Pussycats is just like I have thoughts, so I'm like
Tell
yes.
me. Tell the thought.
Right
Like-
now, fight for it.
Quintessential, like because in my opinions, I come from like it's a great movie, and now I'm like okay, well I need to like defend why it's bad, I suppose, and like it
Mhm.
just has that trope of like. A blonde, a brunette, and a redhead, and we're like different. And the blonde one is like stupid, and the
Dumb
redhead
she's
is like
bouncing on the wall.
quirky,
Right
and the
now.
redhead obviously is the quirky, not like other girls' girl. And then the brunette is like, oh, I'm just the brown hair girl, which is like the syndrome I grew up with as a child. Just like you have brown hair and you're like the boring one who has to develop a sense of humor. You'll be left in the dust, and it's so like patriarchal. in that regard. But they're also like a girl group, and it's just like, oh, we're in a band. And I'm like, yes.
feel like I'm talking to Josie and the Pussycats right now.
Yeah,
I'm looking at
like
blonde,
what's
brown, and a little bit
happening.
of red hair with Vic, Sam, and Tina,
Yeah.
and I'm like, who am I in this situation?
Oh, you're the
God.
like cute guitar player that is like Josie's hometown boyfriend, but she leaves and then becomes a big star. But then like he's like, oh my God, you're too big for me now, and whatever. Oh, it's also bad because like her acting is not. I feel like because I feel like I need to justify why it's bad now for some reason. But
Same,
like,
yeah.
But like also like, okay, she like turns evil because the like cat headphones turn people evil. This is where it's like,
Oh, you're winning me now.
unhinged, right?
Now you're
The
winning
mind
me.
control.
So this is where it's unhinged because it's like, yeah, everybody buys these cat headphones and they're brainwashing everybody. And so Josie, the producer people that are evil are like, no, Josie, like you're the leader. You should ditch your other team band members or whatever. And she becomes like really mean. And the acting isn't like Rachel Lee Cook's so adorable that when she's mean, I'm like, oh my God, you're so cute and mean.
Right. She's
So
like
to
a little...
add to the brainwashing thing though, there's also hidden tracks in all of their music.
Yes.
So the one they give Josie has a hidden track that like makes her egotistical and makes her want to go solo. But they listen to the tracks that all of the fans get. And it's Parker Posey, who's like the record exec. It's her trying to make people be her friend. So like the background music is her being like, you want to be friends with Parker Posey's character, and also we can have sleepovers and tell each other secrets.
Okay.
Like it's the most like kind of
some
pathetic,
subliminal messaging in
like
the music.
yeah, but it is
Yeah.
so funny, like, and just so
Oh yeah,
sad.
and that's like part of the cringe too, is that like Parker Posey, like her thing is that she had a lisp, so nobody liked her. And then like Alan Cummings comes out and he's like, I'm an albino and like I have no hair or
Oh
something.
my God, that's right.
And like so nobody liked him either.
It doesn't age well.
No, it doesn't age well.
Oh, it's like
All right. You've all convinced me. Josie and the Pussycats on the list. Yeah.
Josie and the
Absolutely.
Pussycat.
Fully on board for that. I'm going to submit my argument for The Room to be on this list. This is mind-blowing that I have to even fight for this to be on the list, considering it is universally known as one of the worst great movies of all time.
It's universally known as one of the worst movies of all time.
We're just like
has
quirky.
an insane cult classic. We know this because, like, let's talk about like the Mayfair, for example, in Ottawa, or like any like local theater out there that is playing The Room once a month or twice a month, or like, you know, a few times a year at the local theater, because it brings in a bunch of weirdos who want to watch this thing together. And if you're comparing it to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which is a very apt comparison because it is interacting with a thing, and it's better. No, I won't fight that right now. But the interaction with the movie is really what makes it. But also, like, it is a baffling bad movie in the sense that, like, how it was made. Tommy Wiseau spent so much money on this movie. The way he made it was like he would build sets to bring them down, to build them up again, to bring them down, because he didn't know how to film things. There's football scenes in this movie for no reason. The first 15 minutes of this movie, there's 3 sex scenes, and they're so long, and Tommy Wiseau, you see his face in all of it, and it's very bizarre, and he's just like the snake-like face, and his reactions in the movie is unlike anything you've ever seen an actor do before. He is a one-of-a-kind actor-director in all of the bad ways, I guess. He's only really famous for this movie, and it's insane to me because this is what he does. He's very famous, but it's for this movie. So he kind of shops this movie around. He goes, does Q&A with a bunch of people. The Disaster Artist was made because of this movie. I definitely recommend it to anybody who's ever curious on how The Room was made. It's a fascinating story of how this thing even came to be. And then the Disaster Artist movies is pretty funny, but the book's better. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's very quotable to a lot of people who have seen it, and you've seen memes for days, even if you've never seen the movie before. So to me, it's kind of has to be on those lists.
I feel like it's noteworthy, and it's like, an interesting movie to talk about, but I'm not really sold on, like, a lot of these movies you guys have pitched that I haven't seen. I'm like, I want to go and see this now. I still don't want to see The Room. It sounds cringy and I don't really care.
But
so, like, how
you don't
is
want
it
to
a
join
good
in
movie?
on the. I feel like
I don't want to join in on it. I mean, maybe I'll go so I can spoon throw or whatever it is. I don't know, man.
If I may cite Pod Cavern precedent.
Yes,
if I may.
Yes, of course.
I would like to take us back to a podcast recorded earlier this year and a point that was made in regards to the word fuck. If something is so obviously accepted as, oh, this is the worst movie of all time, this is the best swear word of all time, is that not underselling what we offer here on Ranked?
I agree.
If someone saw that, top 5 good, bad movies, well, we're going to hear about The Room. It'll probably be number 1. And then out the gate, cunt comes and surprises you and takes the top spot. I might offer that The Room is our fuck and we are still searching for our cunt.
Wow.
I cede my time.
I love that. I think that's so brilliant.
This is not fair because Victoria has a certain nuance with the word, with the C word. And it's a very magical, attractive, magnetic thing when Victoria says it. That when I say it, everyone's like, what did you fucking say? Say that again,
I'm getting
Tuong.
kicked out of a bar. I loved every moment of that. And I just, there is so much reflection I'm experiencing currently. Because everything you just said about like curse words, I was like, I obviously cunt would be number 1. And I'm looking at The Room and I just pulled up some specs on my little handy dandy computer. And I know we'd be remiss to like excuse everything it has done because it is objectively terrible. But in contrast to that, I'm just like taking a peek online and it's regarded as the Citizen Kane of bad films. The budget was $6 million. And in the box office, it made not even $2,000. Horrific box office numbers. And to take a look at like where it has gone since, I'm like, well, it obviously deserves a spot on like, well, it's The Room. It's The Room. But we are connoisseurs of good, bad, garbage. So you know, the average listener might be like, well, obviously The Room's going to be number 1, but it's like, yeah, but we are professionals and we're taking a gander at all good, bad. I don't know how to feel.
I love that, Tina. I love that. No, you
have,
I
have no idea.
You're getting me back into interested in discussing The Room further because that's a great point. Like the metrics on its cost.
Point.
Yeah, thanks, Tina.
Sometimes things get so big that we forget how.
I just feel like
started. I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel.
Recognize the roots.
Yeah, like game recognize game.
With putting The Room. Potentially. I'm not saying to lock it, but like, okay, I think the real discussion we have to have right now, and I might have a wrong list looking at it here, but here's my like question, I guess. Encino Man and George of the Jungle, are we keeping one over the other, or what's our stance on that? No, I know, but like I have them both kind of starred here. I love that. George was a lock, and Encino Man, I guess, wasn't. So I don't know. Is Encino Man on the chopping block? Because, like, I just don't know. I don't know where we're at.
I feel like it would be interesting to keep Encino Man because then we are discussing 6. And then it comes down to, like, what then gets chopped. Because we currently have 5 starred. So,
well, we also have...
We want to keep it interesting.
We have the Grinch, too.
The Grinch is starred as well.
Oh, is it? I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So, really, we're deciding between The Grinch, The Room, and Encino Man.
Should we talk about the Grinch for a hot sec? Maybe.
I don't think the Grinch belongs on this list.
You don't think the Grinch belongs on this list?
On this list, no, because I think I like the Grinch. So it's. I mean, it's
that's weird... that's lovely for you and whatever. And I was also in that category until like 2 years ago, till my world came shattering down on me. But
yeah,
the world collapsed in on itself.
Do I need to like explain to you why it's like not a good movie? Because I don't want.
Are you fighting for it to be on the list? Like, if you do like truly believe that it should be on this, because like
I think it's like a decent one for the list.
Yeah. I believe that it should be nominated on the top 12. I can see that. On the top 5, The Grinch, I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel.
That's fair. I don't like...
With the Grinch, though, I mean, I've got 2 words for you: Christine Baranski. You know, you don't just ignore the fact that Christine Baranski is in the Grinch. I personally can't, because what a woman. Yeah, and just, I just wanted to make sure someone said her name while discussing this movie.
Do you think this is like,
I tip my fedora to you?
This is like maybe a Ani Mensch thing, but just because we brought up her, like, should Mamma Mia have been on this list?
Stop!
Because I don't think it's a bad movie. I don't think it's a bad movie. Don't come at me. But
oh my God, there's too many.
It's not a bad movie. There are things about it, but you know what? We love it for who it is. So
we do. Yeah. We do. So you know what? Maybe I'm fine to cut the Grinch because it's just too good and everyone else can suck a dick. So
there you go. You hear that,
suck
everyone?
a dick, Pod Cavern.
Okay.
Go fuck yourself, Pod Cavern. Leslie Cherupi said so.
It's such a weird celebration of Leslie Cherupi today in the Pod Cavern. Not sure what happened, but I kind of love it.
So we're cutting the Grinch. It's fine.
Okay.
I feel like this is one of the weird episodes where if your movie gets cut, you're like, aha, it was too good.
I have taste.
This
really
is unhinged. I'm so sorry.
I knew it was gonna be, man. I was like, what is this podcast?
We know what this podcast is.
No, I didn't for this one. I didn't for this one. My Ani Mensch is all over the fucking place.
It's Encino Man versus The Room. That's what we're going for right now.
Oh, that's so
Does
hard.
The Room have Pauly Shore?
No, but it also has people that you've never heard about before. Except for Tommy Wiseau.
That means nothing.
Wait, you're just relying on superstars to give you your bad movies that are good?
Look,
but you're just arguing on a really bad movie.
I'm not. I think it's a great bad movie.
You think it's a good movie in any capacity?
But that's not the category. The category is it a bad movie that's good? Is it a guilty pleasure?
But I'd watch all these other movies on my own.
But that's not. But that doesn't mean that The Room doesn't belong on this list because it has a different.
Doesn't it?
I don't think so. Like just because it has a different qualifier to it, like I said before, that bad movies are best watched, I think, with other people, and I think The Room is a prime example of that.
Tuong, that is some couple privilege that you're
Interesting
point. But to watch awesome
Laura has
movies
never watched The Room
alone
before.
with our dog.
Uh-huh.
Who are you watching it with?
I'm watching it with all the other nerds who show up at these midnight screenings of The Room. And we have an amazing time and laugh at the screen together. And it is...
I think we've understood the assignment differently.
I came up with this topic. I know
you did. But
I think I understood this topic.
That's only good because it's good with the people that you're watching with.
I don't think that's a knock against the movie. And I truly think that this movie is...
You truly think it's a good movie?
I think it's a special kind of bad. Yeah. I have a ton of fun.
Of the episode where we are turning on Tuong.
Yes,
and we welcome you to bask in this moment with us.
Yep.
We knew it was going to happen,
we
and here we are. Thank you.
I think I want to say something controversial.
Give it to us.
Josie and the Pussycats.
Mm-hmm.
And let me just have a quick gab. George of the Jungle, Twilight, Grinch, Batman and Robin. I would watch all of these by myself and have a really good time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm going to say. And when we talk about bad movies that are good, are we just laughing at the spectacle of bad, or are we finding joy in the film?
Yeah, I want to champion movies. I want to champion them and be like, I fight for you.
Yeah, where is the pleasure in your guilty?
Yeah, we're discovering our categorization kind of at the end because it's it's vibes. And I'm trying to articulate academically the vibes. And because the Room, we know, it's the Citizen Kane of bad movies.
I don't think you guys know.
I mean,
but I'm
if
also
you like it
here.
and you would put it on at home and it brings you joy.
I just don't think that's it does bring me joy. Does it bring me joy? Yes. The Room brings me lots of joy.
Approve. Yeah.
If your argument is Victoria's original argument, where if it's too obvious, then yes, but it seems weird with this group because it doesn't seem obvious because you all don't have an attachment to it, which is a very surprising.
Most obvious. It was the first thing Brad said to me. I I was like, no, we're not going to nominate that. It's too bad.
Sam and I can pull, actually all of us can pull out of our back pocket that we're all in one shape or form affiliated with the theater. Like all of us are.
Wait, what is it? Nobody can see you guys right now with your arm around your chairs.
We're all making like poses, just being like, I'm affiliated with the theater.
Okay,
like,
I will.
I am an artiste.
We are women.
I animated like a butt for like 8 hours today, and I'm like, I'm a connoisseur of the arts.
I'm going to bow down to the Josie and the Pussycats right now. I know when I am going to lose an argument, but...
Does that mean a Chino Man gets...
That's the thing. Like, that's... Like, what? What are we talking about here? Like, really? Like, how... You've made no argument for this.
Let me make an argument for Encino Man.
Uh-huh.
We've got pre-Lord of the Rings Sean Astin, which is good for everybody. We've got Pauly Shore. Like the selling point of this movie, I want you to understand, was Pauly Shore. That is the time we were living in. You know, if you think about his body of work, is it varied? No. Is it consistent? Yes. Does Pauly Shore give us what we want? Always. The weasel or whatever that like noise thing he does is like.
That's true. He delivers.
Don't like that.
Pauly Shore. Pauly Shore, Cheddar Whizzy, the Leaning Tower of Cheesa. We love Pauly Shore.
Right.
And on top of that, a newcomer shows up on the scene, frozen in ice, Mr. Brendan Fraser. They pretend that he is a high school student who goes to high school with them. All of this is so that Sean Astin can impress a girl into going to prom with him. He's building a pool. He's digging out. Sean Astin and the California heat is digging a pool in his own backyard, because he is striving for something greater for himself. And that is when he digs up Brendan Fraser. This is a coming of age movie that speaks to all of us. It's important.
It is a coming of age film.
I'm sold. I'm sold.
Encino Man.
Yes. Okay. You have sold me as well.
I was trying to find a pun on like a coming of ice age.
That's it. That's the pun.
I guess that's it. But like working that into a sentence, I was like, no, comedy lost forever. Stone Age.
I think you need to lean harder into whatever the coming part of the.
Oh my God, Brendan Fraser and you and coming.
Oh my God.
Delete this whole podcast.
No, we're never deleting this podcast.
I will never.
It's the best podcast Ranked has ever had.
Okay. We have Batman and Robin, Josie and the Pussycats, Twilight, Encino Man, George of the Jungle. The room is cut. Mm-hmm. I will say that again for everyone at home who is baffled at how the room in this Zoom room turned on me and has cut the room.
No one will be baffled. It's okay.
I'm baffled with it. The room is a gift.
It happens every time.
Yeah. It's okay, Tuong. Don't worry.
It's okay. I just need to say it to the people at home.
Slide in my DMs, internet. I'll fight you. Slide in my DMs.
Remember that water won best hangover cure or whatever it was.
Sam,
anyways, continue.
You haven't
Is that
seen
true?
this movie. You guys haven't even seen this movie. That's the worst part about this.
I've seen enough.
Sam hasn't seen Encino Man, and we're still doing
I
haven't seen Encino Man.
You're much more charming than I am when it comes to making arguments.
Very true.
Not much more. I just bring Brendan Fraser to the conversation.
Yeah, I did not bring Brendan Fraser. I brought this man that looks like a living snake creature into the movie.
Can I bring up a side topic right now?
Please.
I don't feel like it really belongs here, but I don't feel like it belongs in Auntie Mensch, but I just wanted to just talk about it for a second. I know it's unheard of. So preparing for this, I knew that everybody hated the prequels to the Star Wars movies. So I was
those
like,
are on my list.
Yeah. So I was like, those are a thing. And I know it's an Auntie Mensch thing, but I just wanted to I don't know. I watched Phantom Menace last night for the first time because I was like, I need to see how this morphs my mind on bad that is good, because I was very confused by this topic and I was like, everyone thinks this is bad, but it was good, because I was like, I feel like this is what Star Wars people watch, right? So I don't know. You brought up Hayden Christensen before and I was like, I'm surprised we're not talking about Star Wars.
I thought about it too, but came to the same conclusion, because I like all the Star Wars movies. I'm not hateful about any of them.
Right?
Axe and I rewatched episodes 1 and 2 a couple weeks ago. We were just hanging out. Axe, who the podcaster knows, and they're good movies. And
I only
What
bring
kind
it up
of
because there's a
writing?
watchability, right? And that's what we're
So
kind of
good.
talking about.
Mm,
Yeah.
mhm.
I hate sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere. Brilliant.
made a
Versus your
world.
shoulder.
The writing
You're
is
so soft.
bad,
You're nothing
but
like
like
sand.
it's good.
So good.
Episode 1 is good. Episode
Yeah.
2 is bad. I'm gonna say that right
Me
now.
and my partner live in a prequel household. We're planning on getting prequel tattoos.
Oh.
We are diehard
Love it.
prequel fans. We're Star Wars fans in general. Like we're diehards in this household. Prequels have a special place in my heart. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Sorry, not to
And you and
derail.
McGregor, you can't go
Not
wrong.
to derail format.
That's
can
okay.
do
That's
no
okay.
So we've got,
as long as we talk
do
about
have
Ewan.
5 now.
We
We
do.
got 5.
Let me read them again. Batman and Robin, Josie and the Pussycats, Twilight, Encino Man, George of the Jungle. We need to go from 5 to 1. What's number 5?
I don't know.
I want to say Josie because it's the best one.
It's a good movie. Like it's
That's
just
a good
it's a good
argument for
movie.
it, yeah.
I agree.
I don't want to put it too high because it's not that bad.
It deserves it's like one of those like it deserves to be low on the list on its own merit.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
I want.
And I
on
would put
paper,
Encino Man down there or George. I don't know. I feel like those have got to be bottom 3 though.
I haven't seen George in so long that I'd have to defer on that one. I remember
Right.
really loving it as a kid. And I know it's goofy
It offers
and
some
stupid.
real cringe. It offers
Oh,
quite a bit of
very
I can
big
imagine
cringe.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
The
how
way
any
they
of
talk,
these
the
have
animals
aged.
talk, like, is
Dookie
weird.
dookie.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I'm
talking
very
apes
skeptical.
are weird.
Okay. Well, Vic, as the Brendan Fraser connoisseur,
I mean, I share this title with Sam. I am aware. I share the Brendan Fraser. And Sam, for you out there experiencing this in an audio format,
everyone, yes.
Sam, during the break, changed into Brendan Fraser fan club clothing. And that was when I became certain I had done a good job today. So thank you, Sam. So I do share this BFF, Brendan Fraser Forever, face with Sam.
Every time Luloff and I podcast together, we love each other a little more.
It is so good. So I would say George of the Jungle is good for so many reasons, but it's not a good movie. Like it's just a very enjoyable movie, but it is by no means like good. Mm-hmm.
So where does that leave us?
So it means it should be higher.
I would, can I come out of the shadows here and make an offering that I liked Batman and Robin? I had the poster from the movie magazine. Remember you used to get a magazine when you went to the movies? I had like the poster, the little 8.5 by 11 taped to my wall. I thought that was a good movie. Like I liked it.
It's a guilty
it
pleasure
was one of my
movie.
like Ani mentions.
Yeah.
That's the one where George Clooney is Batman?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's
So
like regarded
the
as
environmental
like
argument.
Oh yeah, a lot of these movies are
The worst of the
regarded as bad
Batman,
movies.
but
The
not
Room.
like
But Batman and Robin is also regarded as one of the worst films ever in Batman history, and just in general, it was it
but,
almost
I've had
ruined
an
it.
itch to watch it lately.
Uma Thurman's like
Uma
wax lip.
Thurman.
Oh yeah, and
is
but
The
in it.
Batman credit
So-
card.
listen, I love all of it because I love it in retrospect because like this is the movie that literally almost ruined all superhero movies going forward because they're like superhero movies are never going to be a thing. Look at this freaking movie. I have a list in front of me which is all 15 ice puns that Arnold Schwarzenegger says in this movie. 15 of them. That's crazy.
He delivered them flawlessly.
Tonight's forecast, a freeze is coming.
I would honestly put this one in top 2. Like, I'm
Yeah.
just throwing that out there.
Me too.
Like,
Fair enough,
easily.
fair enough.
I
Yeah.
agree. I concur with that. And I'm just looking at pictures of Uma Thurman. And I concur.
Allow me to break the ice. Of course.
I honestly think it, I mean, maybe this is bold to say, but I think that like Batman, Robin, Twilight are going to be 1 and 2, right?
I was
Yeah.
kind of waiting for Twilight to come up.
Here is
Because-
my suggestion, and we can fight. You can fight me on this. Feel free to fight me on this. Josie and the Pussycats, number 5. Number 4, Encino Man. Number 3, George of the Jungle. And number 2, for me, it's Twilight. Number 1's Batman and Robin, but I'm open for the discussion between those last 2.
Oh, I know Twilight
is
was my
interesting.
pick, but I do not think it is number 1 for bad good.
Okay?
Because
Number 2.
I think Batman and Robin kind of is that quintessential campy, bad, silly,
So
fun.
number 1. So
I do think it's number one.
Yeah. So is
and I think Twilight's number two. Oh yeah,
okay?
I'm regurgitating actually everything you just said back to you, but I'm trying for some reason. I'm like, oh, it's my idea. No, 100%.
No, it's okay. But that number 4 and 3, are we okay with Encino Man then George? I'm honestly okay with swapping them if that's what the room is saying.
I feel George for 3 and Encino Man for 4 because Encino Man is like it's I like Encino Man a lot.
Okay,
it's so fun. It's just like so fun and wholesome. It's a wholesome film. Like I haven't seen it in a hot minute, but I remember.
Why does everybody like
aging
to,
kind of fun?
Trash wholesome films.
Really? Like
because they make us feel good. They came out before the world turned.
Before everything just got worse, and then Twitter was invented. Like
exactly.
Thanks, Elon.
Okay.
Thanks, Elon.
Do we have our list then? Is that okay?
Yeah.
I love it.
We do.
I think that's the list.
Okay, let's do it again. Number 5, Josie and the Pussycats. Number 4, Encino Man. Number 3, George of the Jungle. Number 2, some sparkly vampires with Twilight. And number 1, Batman and Robin. That's good. Yeah, that's a great movie. It's a great bad movie.
Love it.
Oh,
these ice puns are so good. They're so good.
They're so good.
They can never do this again. That's the thing. The campy Batman movies, like, I want them to come back, but they're cowards.
That's what I've been like finding lately about like 90s. That's why I've been like wanting to go back, and I'm excited to go back and watch a bunch of these because with the Phantom Menace last night, I'm like, I want to see these movies they're not making now because they've got this 90s je ne sais quoi, you know? I like watched The Matrix not that The Matrix is a bad movie, but I watched it for the first time the other night and I was like, oh, it's so like 90s, right?
Is it dated?
It's just like, I don't know, all these movies we've pitched are like kind of older for the most part. And it's just like, yeah, give me that because I'm not going to get it now.
Right.
Yeah.
In the same way.
All right, let's go into honorable mentions. Ani Menchies. We'll have Sam list all of your Ani Menchies.
Oh
All of my Ani Menchies? Okay, I don't have like that many.
I don't have that many either. I only have a couple.
Okay, here we go. Spice World, Scooby-Doo, the 2002 CG one, Jupiter Ascending, Letters to Juliet, Lizzie McGuire movie, The Flintstones movie, Death Becomes Her, and Space Jam.
Get out of here with that last one.
So
Get the fuck out of here with that last one.
I thought that was when you were building up your first pick. I was like, he's gonna say Space Jam.
I'm definitely not because
You
I don't
take
admit
Lizzie
to it.
McGuire's name out of your mouth. That movie.
I know, guys. I didn't feel good about any of that. I'll have you know.
Sing to me, Paolo.
There's a reason they're honorable mentions.
Tina, give me the rest of yours.
Well, I only have a couple.
That's okay.
I came in passionate and small. I came in with a movie called Troll 2. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yes.
There's no Troll 1. It's just Troll 2.
It's amazing.
Obviously, Devil Wears Prada. Spider-Man 3 specifically. Sam Raimi. Like, come on. It's just bad.
The
but it's
dance,
so fun.
the dancing. Yeah.
And my one like kind of nitpicky animation world pick is Fern Gully because the animation specifically garbage, hot garbage, got chirped so hard in art school as like what not to do. But that's perhaps a nuanced take. I don't know.
Victoria looks pissed, by the way.
I know. I'm just like, ee!
Fern Gully is a piece of art.
Oh my God.
Toxic Love. Okay. We've got
Hexus also as a villain.
Hexus.
Gorgeous.
Yes,
gorgeous.
as a villain. Tim Curry singing Toxic Love. So good. But I'm looking back in my mind memory, the animation wasn't exactly incredible. So I can understand from your purview why you would want to break my heart by saying these things out loud. But it's okay. We'll be okay. We'll be okay, Tina. But I love Fern Gully.
Victoria, what do you have?
I would like to offer my Ani mentions. Hell Comes to Frogtown. A lot of blank faces. This movie is so bad. It's so bad, but I couldn't get it out of my mind for like 6 months after I saw it. Maximum Overdrive, the Stephen King aliens
You had to watch that
and
in
like,
school.
yeah, it is the most ridiculous. We made you thing. Phantom of Paradise is like a 1970s take on Phantom of the Opera, and it is so uncomfortable to watch, but it's one of my mom's favorites. So, and I think Sam mentioned this doesn't belong to be here, but it was my like just in caser blast from the past, starring Brendan Fraser and Alicia Silverstone and Sissy Spacek and Christopher Walken.
My list here, I'll rapid fire through mine. A lot of them have been said already. I think Cats is an amazingly bad movie, the new one. I've seen that movie somehow 4 times now. Don't know how, but not seen the butthole cut yet. So just waiting. I'm just waiting for it. Santa's Sleigh, spelled Slay. It's about a murdering Santa Claus. It's hilarious. Spice World, I agree with that. Sharknado, Phantom Menace, I do agree with that one too. The Wicker Man, I'm surprised we haven't had any Nick Cage movies.
That was supposed to be my Auntie Mensch was everything Nick Cage.
There it is.
Nick Cage was going to be my backup theme.
Yeah, I was hoping for any Nick Cage. He did not make
Brad is really upset that nobody said Gone in 60 Seconds or Face Off, or there was another one.
No, Face Off is great.
Because Nick Cage is a good actor.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Home Alone 3 is another one that I think is a great movie, but people say it's bad. Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious movie, Mac and Me, Dude, Where's My Car? Yeah, Mac and Me. Who could forget? Just solely because it gave us that Paul Rudd bit with Conan O'Brien, and it's just amazing. So good. Dude, Where's My Car? Good Burger. And
Good Burger, home of the Good Burger.
Can I take your order?
Can I take your order?
Yeah. And
oh my God.
Power Rangers, the
Power
movie.
Rangers.
Oh,
Yeah.
and here's 2 bad movies that people say are bad, but I would not admit it to it. I'm saying no to Hook being a bad movie.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, people say Hook's a bad movie. Get out of here. It's not.
People are wrong.
Robin Williams, Rufio, come on. And Space Jam. There's so many people who are like, Tongue, Space Jam's a bad movie. I'm not even admitting it here. I'm just saying no. Doesn't even belong on this list. Sam, I can't believe you thought I'd nominate it. Can't believe it. Anyways. I don't know. I would never sully Space Jam like that. But anyways, we are here. We did it. That's the end of our bad movies that are good. And I think we made a pretty good list.
We did a great job. Hooray for Tina.
Hooray for Tina.
Oh, guys, thank you so much.
It was fun.
Tina,
thank you for having me here.
We loved having you. How about you give the people at home some plugs? Where can they find you? What do you do?
Yeah. So, hello, Internet. I am a certified Internet person, and I live on Instagram and TikTok. I'm just Bazooper, like the old Big Bang Theory meme, like Bazooper. That's my whole thing. The number one way you can support me is just liking my stupid content. That's like genuinely the number one way to support me as I work on my own original content. That is like me. That's all I need.
I love it. You know what? It's funny because Laura, she's like, oh my God, you gotta see this like hilarious TikTok that I found. And I'm like, I know her. It's Tina.
Like,
and that's how I reached out to her.
Idiot.
And I was like, Tina, are you seeing this here? This is crazy.
That is so weird also. And it happens to me all the time. Like people, it's got like that. I guess it's for another time, but I've gotten in trouble a bit at work because one of my bosses was like, hey, found your TikTok. You can't be doing that. And I'm like, okay, because I like film just dumb content, just dumb stuff. So they're like, can you just like not do that at work? And I'm like, yes. Thank you for not firing me. So dumb.
I would hire you in the pod cavern. We pay very little.
Oh my God. Excellent.
It's just no money at all, I'll be honest. Victoria, thank you for being back.
Thanks for having me. This was so much fun.
Yes, I'm really happy that you didn't hold back on me as always in our arguments. But you know what? It's okay. It's always worth it. I love being wrong. As long as it comes from you. Victoria, what do you have to plug for the people at home?
Okay, pod cavernites. For the first time in 3 years, I have something to plug other than be nice to each other. You should still do that. But I'm not sure when this will air. If it airs after this, too bad, so sad. Sucks to be you. But I will be acting in a show at the Ottawa Fringe called At the Mayor from June 15th to 26th. I should double check those dates. But Yay! Huzzah! Very exciting. Check it out at fringe.ca or like #OttawaFringe or whatever. You can buy tickets. They're like $12. Yay!
Yay!
Can we buy tickets right now?
You can buy tickets right now if you go to the Ottawa Fringe website at the mayor.
I really hope this
Thank
episode airs before that. So yes.
If not, then
then you made a mistake not seeing Victoria live. Or maybe you saw them.
Yeah.
Pee pee poo poo, you're dumb.
Yeah, take that.
Delete that.
No, I would
everything.
Never. I'm not taking anything you say, Tina. Thank you, Victoria. Please go see Victoria do stuff because she's very talented. And yeah, she hasn't been in a thing in a long time. And she's missing my wedding because of it. So I extra want her to be successful, to make it worth it, everyone.
If you're not at Tuong's wedding, you better be at the Fringe.
That's it. Yeah, most people are not invited to the wedding that's listening to this, but not by choice. I can't afford it. I can't afford it, okay?
So you better go to the festival.
That's right. Sam, what do you have to plug that isn't my wedding?
I'd like to plug Tuong's wedding, everybody.
You can't do that.
I was just like, that's hilarious. Tuong's wedding.
Yes.
It's at this location. Be there.
Be there. I don't really have much to plug right now.
Support his wedding because they're so fucking expensive.
Oh my god.
Yeah, everybody order a shit ton of stuff on Amazon using the Podcavern affiliate link right now.
Yeah,
so
you can do that too. But Sam, you have other things to plug. What do you got to plug?
I guess another Podcavern show. Everybody check out Disney Dummies, where we talk about every Disney film starting from the bottom till now in chronological order and discuss who fucks and what's good about these movies.
Not in that order, though. Not in that order.
Not in that order. We talk about a bunch of things, but that's the main stuff.
It's a highly intelligent show. Besides that segment,
love it. I'm a huge fan of Disney Dummies.
Thank you, Victoria. Thank you.
I listen.
It's
to
our
every
pride and
episode.
joy, and it's kept us sane during this pandemic. So.
Yep.
It's a true highlight. Everyone should listen to it and follow along at home. Maybe you watch the movie and then listen to the podcast just for a fun activity. You know?
Yeah.
It's a fun activity to do.
Amazing. For myself, you can find the rest of the shows in the Podcavern at www.podcavern.com. Check out all the shows there. And until next time, we are going to get out of here, watch some bad movies, and then probably booty call Leslie. So let's go and do that. Bye, everyone.